Welcome back to the KEMPIRE Daily YouTube channel. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the uploads. In today's video, I wanted to talk about 90 Day Fiance. I talk about it a lot on my podcast. Links will be provided in the description box. We have a really great conversation about reality TV, and there's a variety of shows that I love to watch. But I wanted to talk about 90 Day Fiance because there's so many iterations of it. Right now, the current season is 90 Day Fiance The Other Way. And I wanted to quickly talk about just some of the couples, not all of them, because some of the storylines are not as interesting. And it's not that I want drama in these relationships, just certain people are not that interesting to watch. And some of the people that in this latest season that I want to discuss are Brittany and Yazan, Ariel, I believe her name is. I always get these people's names messed up. And Baby, or I know she calls him Baby. I forget his name. And I wanted to talk about Jenny and Submit. And the reason why I wanted to talk about Jenny and Submit, it's not that their storyline is that interesting. However, I do feel their struggle. In this last episode, you see Jenny break down over Submit's family not accepting them because Jenny is so much older than Submit. And as you probably know, in Indian culture, it isn't uncommon for arranged marriages. And Submit was in an arranged marriage, and that was part of the drama in the relationship, is him getting divorced and having to pay out the settlement in regards to that divorce. But Submit, there's a lot of things happening there. And this next episode that we see coming up this weekend, we see that Submit really was in a dark place in his past relationship, but he generally seems to have a great relationship with Jenny. They seem like really good friends. And you see them go through this whole relationship during a pandemic. And if you survived during this pandemic and lockdown with your partner, that's probably someone you're going to be with for a very long time, because it really, I think, tested a lot of different relationships. And they seem to have come out of that pandemic lockdown closer than ever. There's a lot of really great things happening for them, but I get the struggle that Submit's parents are having because, they're used to a tradition. They're used to their culture. So anything that's different from that and, dashes their hopes and dreams for their child, I get it. I get why they might be disappointed, but I also get the struggle for Submit and Jenny because they're in love with each other and they just want to be happy. They don't want this constant conflict or people not accepting their love. So I have a soft spot in my heart for Jenny because I'm like, I can see the struggle. They just want to love each other and people not accepting that. Not that I would care personally if it was my relationship, but that's our culture in America. We don't necessarily have those pressures of an entire culture, not just the family culture, but the entire culture feeling a certain way about your relationship. Which goes to Ariel and Baby in Ethiopia. Sidebar, Ethiopia, I've always thought this, but I'm just reminded Ethiopia has some of the most beautiful people. But the relationship between these two, first of all, she's moving to Ethiopia pregnant. She met him during a visit there, fell in love, got pregnant, decided she was going to move to Ethiopia. Although Baby had a similar situation with a previous American who ended up leaving him and taking their child. So he has a child somewhere here in America that I guess he doesn't really have a relationship with, which is sad. But Ariel knows this and sort of holds this over his head and projects a lot of what she's doing as if he's doing it to her. Because the minute her mother, who originally went with her to Ethiopia that first time, was with her, and the minute her mother left, the whole relationship and her feelings towards Baby was very different. Very entitled, very bratty. It was really a turnoff because I didn't see her in that light. And it was sort of like this light switch went off and then she was a completely different person. And at the same time, I had to keep reminding myself she's pregnant. Hormones are in play here. Even after a woman gives birth, there are still elevated hormones and things. So I'm thinking in my head, I was like, let me give her some leeway here. First of all, she's moving to a completely different culture and country. She's, you know, she's pregnant. You know, she's a first-time mother. I'm trying to give Ariel some hope here, but it's so hard. And you could see that, you know, her baby's father, because they're not married, is really trying. And I think that's where a lot of 90 Day Fiancé fans are just sort of like, you are a terrible human being, because you see that he's trying. You see that he's trying to work, but you want him home. He can't do both. He can't provide a home and a lifestyle for you if he is at home with you all the time. And you also start to see in these upcoming episodes her conflict with his family. He has a very large family. You see them trying to embrace her. Also, her family comes to Ethiopia to see the baby. I honestly do not give Ariel, if she's not already here in the States, I don't see her staying in Ethiopia at all. And unfortunately, he's put himself in another position to be with another woman that you've had a child with and probably will leave with that child, which is unfortunate because children should know their fathers. But I honestly don't see this relationship working out, and I definitely don't see Ariel staying in Ethiopia. And moving right along to Brittany and Yazan. This is probably the saddest situation to watch, because from the very beginning, we see that Brittany looks like she is aiming for fame. She's trying to be famous. She's trying to use this platform to launch some rap career. Do I believe she loves Yazan? Honestly, I don't. I don't know. I'm not in her situation. However, the way it comes across on television, keep that in mind, is that she doesn't. She doesn't love him. She doesn't respect him, and she doesn't respect his culture. I mean, I get it. You see these Americans go to these these countries, and you're sort of like, did they not do any research before they went? You're going to Jordan. It is illegal to do some of the things that she wants to do in Jordan. She wants to turn up in Jordan. She wants to show off her chest in Jordan. She wants to show off her shape in Jordan. No, you can't do those things out of respect for their culture. You don't have to agree with it, but you also don't have to live in Jordan. But if you're going to live in Jordan, you have to abide to their culture and their laws. This is literally law. Like, he can't stay in the same bedroom with you because it is against the law. I don't understand why she doesn't get that. But I also feel like Brittany's pushing those boundaries for television, and also just because she's ignorant. But the thing is that I find sad, and I think in this next episode, she gets the depth because they get an interpreter. Because there's also this very hard language barrier, because Yazan, although he can speak English, but trying to convey how he really feels is hard. It's more challenging to present that in English to Brittany. So they get a translator, and so she gets an idea of what's really been going on. Yazan's life since she left Jordan, she went to Jordan and then she left because she was still married. The 90 Day Fiancé fans, you already know the backstory. I'm giving the folks that don't necessarily know the backstory behind Brittany and Yazan. She comes back to the United States for several weeks. It wasn't just a week or two. It was several weeks to get her divorce. And she still hasn't told him this part up until now, up until this week. She has not told him that she was still married when she came to Jordan. But while she's been here in the States, Yazan's life has literally been turned upside down. He was in a car accident. His family disowned him. His extended family has been talking bad about him because of her. His father threatened his life on television multiple times. And the thing is, he could do that because I don't know the laws in Jordan, but maybe there's a law where he could do that based on culture or whatever. I don't know. I have no idea. But he did it on television. He let everyone know, as he was saying this to his other son, I will kill him. Really? We're just going to say that? So Yazan, who really you could tell, although he has his anger management issues too, but maybe we know where he gets that from. We can tell that he loves Brittany on whatever level it may be. I don't know if it's true love, whatever it may be. He wants to marry her. He's moved heaven and earth to be with her. He's even launched his own business. His father fired him from his work, so he's had to get everything on his own. He's even given Brittany a little bit more time, should think about getting married now that she doesn't have to necessarily become Muslim. Yazan, unfortunately, I honestly don't see this relationship working out. I mean, most of the relationships we don't see working out in 90 Day Fiance, although there are quite a few that have worked out and people have had children since being on the show. But I don't see this relationship working out. I just want to know, does she tell Yazan that she was married, but now she's officially divorced? I don't know. The Brittany Yazan situation is so bothersome to me that I'm just sort of like, I feel bad for Yazan. I hope this works out better for Yazan, that he finds a woman that's willing to do the things that he would like as a part of his culture. That's my 90 Day Fiance roundup. I want to talk with you guys in the comment section about who are your favorite couples. I didn't talk about all the couples. I just talked about the ones that were pretty much interesting. Let's talk about it in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow.